Timber's hitting the ground, you bet two brothers are around. Let's go! Hey guys, so this is Tim's Patriot sawmill. We've done quite a few upgrades on it. Tim upgraded back in the spring to a 16 horsepower duromax. He took the Predator engine off, the 13 horse. This engine is a torque monster. It's also electric start, which makes it nice. I'll tell you what, this upgrade on this engine is one powerful engine. So the last upgrade was he put a winch to raise the head up and down, and we were using it last week, and the winch actually drew the battery down to where the battery was not able to run the winch. So we checked the duromax. It's supposed to be putting out 1.5 amps to charge the battery. It's not putting out anything. We do have power coming out of the coil, but the rectifier, which is just a single diode, has seemed to quit working. So we're going to add another coil under the flywheel, and we bought a rectifier. How much did these two things cost, the extra coil and the rectifier?
$13 and $10.
All right, so for $23 we're going to add the extra coil. This is going to be able to put out 3 amps, and that should be able to keep up with the winch. All right, so here we go. Stick with us. We're going to do this right now. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is we got to get to the flywheel. To do that, we got to pull the shroud off. How come you're not using your little impact wrench?
Because of the sawdust. I don't want to drop the bolts in the sawdust and lose them, so.
All right. All right, so we're going to get the bolts out of the shroud, and we'll get the shroud off, and then we'll continue. Okay, so we got all the bolts out.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a fuel line here.
Yeah, the fuel line's got a little clamp, a little button.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
You got to pry that out with a screwdriver right there. That holds the fuel line in place on the shroud. Okay, see if we can get the shroud off. Watch the governor spring.
I'm watching it.
Okay, perfect. All right.
All right, so now we got to pull the flywheel off.
Shroud's off. That was pretty simple. All right.
15, 16?
I don't know what size it is. 15 maybe. Okay, so we got to take this nut off the flywheel. That's 15/16.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. See if the fins come off.
I do.
Well. All right. No, you don't have to put that back on there.
You want to take the coil off too?
No. Okay, so we got to remove the flywheel. You're supposed to use a puller, but it's a little quicker sometimes. You put this nut on, back on, even with the end of the shaft. Put a pry bar behind the pulley or the flywheel. There we go. All right, keep it going. Yep. Perfect. All right, flywheel's loose. Now there should be another set of bosses in here you got to pull it off because of the ring gear.
That's why. Okay.
Coil's got to come off because of the ring gear.
All right, stay tuned.
Okay, so on the electric engine, we can't get the flywheel off without actually removing the coil because the ring gear is hitting the coil before it can come off. Now, like I was saying earlier, there should be an extra set of bosses for the second coil in here. We're hoping anyway. And the Predator engines that do not have electric start, but they do not have a charging system, they should have the bosses also under the flywheel if you would like to put a charging system on your Predator. It's a pretty simple thing. There it is.
There it is.
There's the second set of bosses.
And they're not tapped.
Huh?
Are they tapped?
Yep, they're tapped.
Perfect.
All right. And there's the original coil, which that's going to stay. There's all sawdust in there. How do you get so much sawdust in there?
I don't know where it comes from.
All right. We're going to get the coil out of the bag and get it ready to go. Okay, so we just want to make sure that these are tapped. They are. That's good. Yep, that one's tapped.
That makes it easy.
Yep, that makes it easy. All right, hold on just a minute. Now, the wires run under these brackets right here. So we're going to have to release these brackets in order to run the new wire under there with the existing wire.
And I can do
All right. Yep, that one's 8mm.
Shoot.
The other one's a 10mm. Just have to loosen it so we can get the wire under it. Yeah, that'll
That's
work.
tight, Bubba.
All right. So the new coil right here has got, hold on, show me the back side of the coil. It's got these little
Nipples.
nipples on it, and they will go in here. It kind of guides it and keeps it straight.
All right, so already I see we've got a problem.
Yeah, I see a problem. And the problem is you bought the coil for this engine, not the extra coil, but the original coil. The original coil, the wire comes out on this side. This one, the wire comes on this side. We just have to make it a little longer. It's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah, I've got to
All right, we got to finagle this wire. We'll be back. Okay, so we zip tied the wire behind the coil, and then we're going to feed it up with this other wire right here and out of the block. Okay, so we got the coil mounted, and Tim run the wire under these brackets where the original wire runs, and then out the side we got 2 holes in the grommet, so we're good to go. So we're going to put it back together, put the flywheel back on it, and then we'll mount the rectifier. Turn the flywheel slow and the key should line up. There you go. That's good. Plastic. No, we had it right.
What am I missing?
There you go. Okay. Do you remember what the torque was on this?
50.
50 foot-pounds? Okay. All right, we're going to get this nut torqued up and then we'll go back. Okay, we're holding this with a screwdriver up here against a bolt in the ring gear.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. That's good. That's good. Okay, so to put the coil back on it, you have to put a Two Brothers Outdoors business card between the coil and the flywheel with the magnet away from the coil to get the proper distance. Now you can obtain these business cards directly from us.
You want to just snug it right?
Yeah, just leave us a message on under the video and we'll send you a business card to do this with.
Or email us at twobrotheroutdoors@yahoo.com.
All right, just spin the flywheel to make sure nothing's rubbing. That's compression stroke right there.
Oh, no, this isn't right.
Why?
The flywheel, look at it. See how it's like oblong?
Oh, yeah. All right, the fins are off. All right, I see what's going on. There's a little knob there. There must be a hole in this.
Oh, yeah. Yep, sure is.
All right, so put the hole in there. And then that goes on. Just make sure the hole's on it.
There we go. Now it's lined up.
All right. Got to put on one assembly.
Okay. Looks out around. Look at it. Maybe it's just the way the fins are.
No, it's right now. Yeah, the fins are...
I know, but see how they look out around?
Oh,
Plastic.
plastic. Okay, so the shroud's back on. It was pretty easy. Not a whole lot in the way here. Once we get all the bolts in tight, we're going to pull it over with the rope to make sure nothing's scraping or rattling or making funny noises. Okay, so all the bolts are in. We still haven't hooked it. Just pull it slow. I want to hear if it's scraping. All right, pull these 3 bolts off right here. All right, so obviously, me being a diesel tech for the last 50 years,
Diesel.
doesn't account for a small gasoline engine. Somehow, this has got a
Pin or something.
certain way it's got to sit in here, and we've missed it somehow, and we can't turn it without taking the shroud back off. All right, so we kept having to turn this until it finally locked in.
Oh yeah, it's way off now.
Evidently,
You gotta take that off.
there's something else that we missed on the back side of this plastic thing, and oh well, we got it now. All right, we had to loosen the shroud just enough, but by turning this plastic fins, we're able to get it lined up and sit in tight. So everything looks good. We're going to put the bolts back in the shroud and put the pull start on and turn it over and make sure nothing's rubbing again. Go ahead. Oh, that sounds much better. Yeah, you're good.
We're good.
All right, so now we got to find a place to mount this rectifier. That's going to be the next challenge. And it's internally grounded, so we have to ground it too. Okay, so we mounted the rectifier down here. There's an ear on the bottom of this ignition box where the ignition switch is. Put the wire there. The 2 wires that come off the coils go to the yellow wire. There's 2 yellow wires on this right here. So each one of the coils go to a yellow wire, and the red wire goes over here to the battery terminal on the solenoid. All right, we're going to start this up and see if we charging. Okay guys, so what we did is we had this wire coming off of the ignition side of the solenoid that went up into the ignition box. We cut that wire and put it to the red wire on the regulator, which is the charge line. But what we found out was the starter wouldn't work because the wire where we cut it also has to go to the positive side of the battery for ignition to the switch. So we put a breaker in line and we're going to run that to the battery. Hopefully everything will work. Well, this has been interesting to say the least. So the hot wire that goes to the ignition, put a breaker in it, 10 amp breaker, and it goes to the hot side on the battery. Tim is fastening the battery down now, and then we'll charge it. Then we'll start it and see if it charges. All right, let's shut it off. Okay guys, the extra coil did its job, and the voltage regulator, we ended up with 13.8 volts, and we got 2.9 amps, almost 3 amps. So we're hoping that'll keep up with the winch and the accessories on the engine. Now do keep in mind that that can be done with the non-electric Predator engine as well. You'll have to add the coils and the voltage regulator, but it's not that hard a job. All right guys, if you like our videos, we'd appreciate a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We'd like to get over 1,000 subscribers. We appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you later.